everyone, Brian here. Today we're going to talk about how and why I made Gorilla, and then show you how easy it is to get up and running yourself. Um, if you've gathered from the website already, Gorilla is a YouTube kind of wrapper, or YouTube Kids as it was meant to be, I like to say. We have 4 children here in this house, and because of school and the natural accrual of many devices, we have 7 iPads in this house, and they play some games, but it's mostly YouTube consumption and videos, right? So um, we're at risk of being those iPad kid parents, and we have not been satisfied with the selection and the experience on YouTube Kids or on the TV with direct YouTube on my account or whatever for years and years and years. So I decided to do something about it and stitch together a bunch of free tools that are really available to anyone, and make something that I think is better. So we're going to go through that today, and I want to show you how easy it is to get up and running yourself. All right, so I'm going to click on the Gorilla website from gorilla.tube, and as if I had bought it already, and go in here and download it. You're going to have a slightly different experience, but you finish that checkout flow and eventually download the app and open it, right? Cool. It should work pretty simply on any modern Mac from the past 5 years or so. And then what you're going to do is this app here helps you create that YouTube like experience for your kids. So I'm going to say make a new app, and I'm going to call this Gorilla Demo, something like that. And then this name is kind of important because that might be what your kids see when they're doing it. So if you actually want to change it to like Cruise Tube or whatever your family's name is, like you can do something like that pretty easily. And then, as I mentioned, we're stitching together a bunch of free tools. One of those things is the YouTube API. An API is like a programmatic way to talk to another service. So, like there's free ways to talk to YouTube programmatically, like code to code, and you don't need to use YouTube's website. And you do that through generation of what's that called an API key. And an API key is kind of like a password that you use to define or assert that, hey, I am this person and I want to access this thing. So it's kind of like a secret password. And it's really easy to make one. So we're going to go into the Google Cloud Console here. And if you've never been here, you need to log in and kind of do it yourself. You can log in with your Gmail, which is pretty simple. And then what you want to do most likely is create a new project. So here, let's see, and we're going to make this like one cut, trying to figure out how to do it without cheating. I already have a couple like test ones here. But if I say, hey, I'm going to make a new one, we're going to call it Gorilla Demo, right? And I'm just going to create this thing. And now you can see it's like making this demo, and it can do all kinds of crazy things for you in this Google Cloud Console. But really what we want is to create this context here. And then over in our docs that we had, it does describe all these steps. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and search for this YouTube data API, right? I'll go just type it right in here, and it comes up as the first result. Now that we're in like the right space, and we say, hey, yeah, we want to communicate via an API with this YouTube data, right? So we click enable, and it spins away and starts thinking about what it needs to do. And then it says, cool, now your account is connected to this data API, but you need to create a credential. So this is that API key, right, that allows us to associate like my account that I had logged into to this to this API. So I click credentials, I click create credentials, and click API key here. And you can kind of call this anything because you'll never really use it again. So I'm going to call it Gorilla and just hit create. There's a couple different ways that you can like restrict it, make it more secure if you need to, but you largely don't have to worry about that. So now I have this API key here, right? And this will probably be like the last time you touch the Google Cloud Console for a long, long time. But you really need to treat this this API key truly like as a password, right? Like it's something you don't want to share with other people because it's kind of this association between you and YouTube. It's basically like a representation of you, right? Logged in. Okay, so I have that here, right? I'm going to copy it and go back to Gorilla, and now I'm going to paste it in here. And you can see it to make sure it looks the right way. And you have to click Test API Key before you can get any further. And this, kind of communicates with YouTube for you and make sure that it's working the way you expect it to. And there it did, and like everything's great. So now we get to select the channels that we want our kids to watch, right? We have some suggestions here. If you're happy with these, you can select them, or you can search for something yourself. Say we do PBS Kids, and you're going to get results back from the YouTube API. And if you're not sure which ones are which, right? Since there's a lot of like duplicate channel names that are very similar to one another, you can click the little link icon there, and it'll bring you to YouTube. Like, yep, this looks like the right PBS Kids I want for my kids to watch. So I'll go back to Gorilla and say, yes, this is the one I want. So now I've got these 3 here. You can remove them if you want to, but I'm pretty happy with these. And I'm going to say, cool, next. Now you get to set a PIN, which is something that is for basically you or your kids to enter into when they're watching their instance of Gorilla. There's going to be like a timer that goes off if they're watching for too long, right? So here you set this up, and it's a very, very simple mechanism to stop your kids from watching, kind of just forever. They get prompted with this, and they have to go talk to you to say, hey, can I watch more? So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to keep my defaults here of 60 minutes per day. This is again like a really simple limiter, like per device, basically. That says, hey, you watch 60 minutes a day, that's it. And you say, yep. And then here's my kind of little confirmation screen of making sure that everything we have set up is the way we want it to. That all looks right. And then if you eventually, you finally want to do all this and you want to see like, well, what the heck is this app going to look like for my kids when they use it, you can click preview, right? And this will load up the apps that, or the channels that you've chosen, and just show you 3 videos from it, right? So like it just took like the first 3 that it found, and it goes all the way into the actual app. There we go. Hopefully you can hear that very loud school bell, right? But that's the demo, and there's only 3 videos. It's not meant to be all of them, but it's supposed to give you an example or a clue as like, hey, what is this experience going to be like for my kids, right? Here's some Danny Go, etc., etc. Cool. So we get that far, and we're happy with our preview. And then we have some deployment options, which is again what I was talking about, how we stitch together a bunch of free tools to make this work for you. The one that I've chosen for the initial cut of this app is Netlify. Netlify is a great host that has really generous free tiers for hosting. So this is the easiest way to get up and running online. It's very similar to the Google experience, where like you can probably just log in with your Gmail. With whatever email you have today, you probably have that available to you. So I said, hey, deploy. It did its magic and loaded more videos. And now there's a couple steps here that make this kind of finally finish out. So one is we click on this like, hey, go to Netlify drop, which is literally a drag and drop way that you can load content onto the web. So we've done the deployment of our full site, and we have this little convenient helper here to say, hey, open this folder, right? It entered into this like kind of deep within your computer place that I'm writing the site to, and then it says drag that site folder onto the Netlify drop page, right? So I take this and go like that, and let's see what happens. Drag and drop, it's online. So here what we're doing is we're uploading the now kind of fully featured 3 channels and more than 3 videos per channel onto the site. And this takes as much time as however many videos you might have. But there we go. Your site is live. And notice I'm not logged into Netlify right now. So like this is like actually like live available to anyone if you put in this password, which is not super ideal, but hey, here, look, here's hundreds of videos already for your kids to watch. It's not it's more than an hour's worth of content, for sure. And that's kind of the point, right? Now we have like this very controlled set of channels that we want our kids to watch. And this is a website. It is not a very pretty URL, right? But like you can save this to the home screen, you can email it to yourself, you can you kind of do whatever you want to get it available on a phone, on a tablet, really anywhere. And then what you can do to make this even more ergonomic or useful, and you of course don't want to like leave it there like that because there's like a password you have to enter in. Oh, let's see, something wrong. We already have a user email with this email address. Oh, so I logged in with my username and password a long time ago. But you, if you've never been to Netlify, could probably choose like, hey, sign up with with Google if you've never been here before. I use this site all the time. So again, this is the magic of me doing this live in one take, not remembering what all needs to get done. But that's okay. That's what life is like, right? Let's see. Something is not happy with my Netlify password, so let's see if we can figure that out. You can watch all this. That's weird. Oh, I know what I did. When I use Netlify, I usually log in as with my GitHub, I think. So that's what you're seeing here is that, hey, we already have an account created. We don't know what the heck you're doing. But your experience will be far, far nicer. And what's cool now is that if I log in with Netlify, you should no longer have that like when you go here. I think what will happen is you won't have that password protected nature anymore because now like you've associated your website with Netlify, which is nice. And then what you can do too, if you're not happy with that name, there's all kinds of cool documentation you can look through here on Netlify, and really the main point I'm trying to come across here is that like this isn't magic. This like developers do this kind of stuff all the time. You kind of learn along the way, and like say we don't like that like terrible name. We were going to do like Cruise Family, right? Or Gorilla Demo. I think I might have had a couple of them, so I'm going to do that. So now I'm going to change it to Gorilla App Demo, and like imagine you can make this whatever you want, right? And now it's a little bit easier to remember. If you have a custom domain name, you can actually put this in here. That's what I do with my kids, and then they go to that website and they know that by name, and it's pretty slick. But yeah, now Gorilla App Demo goes to this website, right? And it just works, and you can copy it and use it, etc. If you want to redeploy this website at any time, now your instances, if you open Gorilla again, are kind of managed here after you've created them. So to fetch more videos, add more channels, you can go through all the way back through here. It remembers your config entries, but you can add more channels, remove channels, or you can just like redeploy more videos, right? If you want to. So it's reasonably simple to do that. You run that, it brings you to that deploy screen again, and then you can drag and drop them back in there. Once you're on this page too, this is like a manually deployed website. So when I'm here and I want to like copy paste or get more in, I can just drag these back onto the site and it will redeploy. There's fancier ways you can do it, but like this is dead simple. So hopefully that was enough information for you to get up and running with Gorilla, and I hope to see you using it soon. Thanks.